Hey guys, as promised, I said I was gonna vlog about what happened to me and why I was in the ER. I had a deviated septum. On January 21st, I had surgery and the recovery was going fine. I mean, I had some bruising and swelling and minor bleeding. Friday, I had a cleaning scheduled with my surgeon and he took off the splint that they usually put on here to kind of keep your nose in place because they have to break your nose in order to fix your bone. And I had my cleaning, and then that day I was at home watching a movie with my little sister and my nose started bleeding. I wasn't sure why. I remember telling my sister, grab something quick, I want to get it all over my bed. I have white sheets and I would like to keep them white. I don't want my blood all over it. So my sister helped me and she gave me something. I went into the bathroom. I was still bleeding a lot. So, hi Kovu. Hey buddy. Hi. Oh, you burped? Oh my goodness. Anyway, so the ambulance was called because I kept bleeding and it did not stop. And I was sent to St. Joe's, and while I was at St. Joe's, a blood clot formed like here and like inside and outside of my nose. And the doctor that was on call at St. Joe's called my surgeon but didn't want to touch or mess with my nose because I had surgery, and I'm assuming they didn't want to have like liability, or they didn't want to like mess anything up because they weren't the one who did my surgery. Hi, you can lay there. So the doctor on call called my surgeon and basically explained what was happening, and my surgeon told her to send me back home, that it was normal, that everything was going to be okay if I didn't mess with it. So I was sent back home around 6 something in the morning. My mom didn't want me to come back home, and I didn't want to come back home because I had a huge blood clot like on my face, and I was shocked that they didn't do anything else. But I was sent back home, and then about 3 hours later I started bleeding again, but I was hemorrhaging. Like when I say hemorrhaging, like I was I don't even want to get too specific because it was that bad. Like blood was coming out of my nose, blood was coming out of my mouth. I was like choking on my blood. My mom was screaming and she was trying to rush me to the ER. But imagine 30 minutes of just continuous bleeding. By the time I got to the ER, I can't explain how I felt. I felt so weak. Like a part of me was here and a part of me wasn't. And I remember looking at my mom and she's just like, she couldn't believe it. But I know deep down inside she wanted to cry and hold me, but she had to stay strong for me because otherwise I probably would not be here. So by the time she got to the ER, her car was covered in blood. The blanket that I was using was covered in blood. I was covered in blood. The guy came running out. They put me on a wheelchair. They start rushing me back, and I remember the guy screaming, she's hemorrhaging, she's hemorrhaging. And I remember seeing all these doctors and nurses like run towards me, and they put me on the hospital bed and they start taking off my jacket, my shirt. I didn't have a bra on, unfortunately, because I was here at home and I didn't think that was gonna happen. And the nurses are telling me everything's gonna be okay, and I don't feel good, and I'm still bleeding out of my nose and mouth. I remember them taking blood and trying to put the blood pressure cup on me and trying to get the heart monitor on me because they wanted to check my vitals. And I believe my heart rate was at like 156 and my blood pressure was at like, Kovu. He's trying to go underneath me. I believe my blood pressure was like at 42. The hearing was going, my eyesight was going, and I remember telling the nurse that I felt like I was going to faint. Kovu, por favor, vete para allá. Oh! Oh! Sit. Come on. Sit. There you go. Good boy. See if he stays there. Your face, Kovu. Kovu. Oh my God. That was really cute. I don't know, I think it's just the light. It's like too bright, and he's just like... But I actually went into shock, and I don't remember what happened when I was in shock. I didn't hear anything. When I woke up, when I finally woke up, I started throwing up these blood clots that I was swallowing. So the blood clots were like huge, but I can't really get too specific because it makes me want to throw up. But it was disgusting. Blood tastes disgusting, and a lot of it is like toxic. I don't wish that experience or whatever I went through on anyone. So after I threw up all those blood clots, my surgeon comes in, and well, my nose is broken, but you know, these nurses and doctors are trying to like either like pinch my nose or put like a clip here so it can stop bleeding. And I remember like crying and saying, ow, it hurt. Then my surgeon told them to like stop doing that, and he grabbed a balloon. Those of you who work in the medical field know what a balloon is, and he inflated it with air. Sometimes you can fill it with water, but he used wow. And he basically inflated the balloon in my nose. So I was basically hemorrhaging from this side of my nose, but it was coming out from both. It was even coming out of my ears. After he did that, my bleeding stopped, and hey, bless you. You know how they say pets look like their owners? Kovu, look, we look like each other. Oh, he's so adorable. Anyway, after my bleeding stopped, my surgeon said I was okay to go home. But my mom, if it weren't for her, again, I probably wouldn't be here. She was very persistent. She said, no, she isn't going home. I want you guys to check her blood levels. I want her to be okay before I take her back home. And when they checked my blood, I was at a 15. I dropped to a 13 when I was at St. Joe's. And from 13, I dropped to a 7. So at that point, I needed a blood transfusion because my levels were too low. And another doctor came in and went over the risk and basically said that I needed the blood transfusion. If I were to start bleeding again, it could have been fatal. That being said, I had a blood transfusion the next day. So I was at the ER for like about 4 days. Now I'm considered anemic until my blood level rises. When I left the hospital, I was like at a 9. So I'm hoping I'm much higher than that. I have to take iron pills for about 3 months, but I'm hoping that when I go back to get my levels checked, that I'm back, that I'm back to normal. That is why I was in the ER. I went through something very traumatizing, and it was very scary for me. I don't wish that experience on anyone. The reason why I'm telling you guys this, it's not because I'm trying to put my information out there. Again, it wasn't because I wanted attention. I had a lot of people reach out to me on Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, because I posted the flowers that my fiance got me. I appreciate your concern and you guys, wanting to know if I was okay, but I couldn't respond to everyone, and I didn't want to go over everything with everyone, so I chose to just vlog about my experience with septoplasty and my surgeon. because I don't think it was the surgery itself. I believe the surgeon made a mistake, but I am not going to mention his name because we're all human and we make mistakes, and the point of this vlog isn't to bash my surgeon. But if you guys were wondering or wanted to know who it was, message me personally and I will let you know who that is. You guys definitely did make me feel better, and I did feel some love from a few of you. Many blessings to all of you, and if you guys don't mind liking or subscribing, that would be great. I would really appreciate that. I am looking into doing this a lot more often, and not more for me but for you guys. And if you guys want me to talk about a certain topic or want to get to know a bit more about my past or how I view things, that would be awesome. I don't mind doing that. But that is all for today's vlog. Right there. Goodbye from me and my boy, who you're smiling. Yay, yay.